holds a news conference at 8 a.m. Eastern. There could be a third vote for House Speaker today, unless Jordan calls it off, coming up short twice so far.
Republicans have nominated the Ohio congressman for the speakership, but he has not been able to secure the 217 votes required to win the position. The House has been at an impasse since October 3rd, when a small group of Republicans ousted Kevin McCarthy from the speakership.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin sources tell Fox Jordan would lose even more Republican support if they vote again today. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday.
I'm right there with you.
And I'm sure they're probably saying the same thing up there in Washington, D.C., but you know what? Too bad. They need to stay there. They need to stay there until they can get a speaker.
I think so. I think they need to camp out in the rooms.
They should not even be able to go to the motels or their hotels or their apartments or anywhere else. They need to stay there in Congress. Grow your beards, whatever.
Well, Jim Jordan's supposed to have a news presser this morning at 8 o'clock. So I don't know what that's about.
There is some word that he's just going to withdraw his name.
He's not going to.
I hope he doesn't.
I don't think he will.
I really hope he does not. That was circulating late last night. But we'll wait and see. So
yes. Well, who else is going to step up?
Nobody. Who else would?
Yeah, they just need to get over this, come together.
You're going to end up with a Democrat as Speaker of the House in a Republican-controlled Congress, and all due to a bunch of I'll call them, just like I call those clowns that show up at the school board meeting, dissidents.
Right.
That's all they are, dissidents.
Children.
So
children.
No, children behave at some point in time.
You have a point there. Yes,
you can beat them into submission if you need to.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. People.
It's a mess. It's a mess, and then I'm sure you're going to bring it up. The president's speech last night. I'm not really sure. We have to be nice to Israel and help Israel. And then he kept going back to Ukraine, and we're going to send them all money.
And then he finally ended up talking about, well, maybe we need to do something there at the southern border. Well, duh. Where have you been for the last 3 years, idiot?
I really expected and hoped he would come out fierce and loud, like, we're not going to tolerate this. We're going to help clean up. And then we're going to clean up our own country.
I had a hard time reading the teleprompter last night.
Look, my eyes were hurting. Were your eyes hurting? Because watching him squint to read, I started squinting and I was like, stop. Give him some glasses.
That's all he needed. Just put your glasses on to read from time to time, like right now. So this small print on these computers, it's tough to see.
Yes.
And I know that I've had cataracts, so I've had them fixed, but I've got to probably go back and do it again. I'm feeling that way, but it's that's a.
There's no shame in putting on a pair of glasses.
No,
we all do.
I wore them when I was 10 years old, up until I got contacts, and then on and off again over the years. So anyway, I'm just reading these reading glasses.
Yeah, that's what I used.
These dollar glasses or whatever they call them, whatever.
And then I went through the cataract thing, but I have a film that's growing over one eye. And then,
that's what I've got.
And I have an appointment next month, I believe. He said, just come on in, we'll zap it off, you'll be fine. But I can't wear reading glasses because I can't find a pair that's like just a tinge. They're all too strong for me.
Huh.
So.
Well, you go by there at Sam's and, just put them on to you. Try the right ones and get the right number.
Maybe if I could find like a 0.50.
They probably got them.
After I had the cataracts removed, my eyesight was just about back to 2020.
Yeah, well, that's the way mine have been. So anyway. Okay, let's do a little bit of weather right up front. Tropical storm Tammy. Everybody is looking at it. They're like, oh my God, it's going to hit us. No, it's not.
No.
It's going to become a hurricane. Yes, it is. It's down there in the deep southern part of the tropical Atlantic, and it's moving towards the Leeward Islands. It looks like it's going to cross over. It looks like, unless you do the National Hurricane Center's plot, it looks like it's going to bombard the Leeward Islands and cross over into the Caribbean, and then who knows where it goes from there. Well, according to the plotting, little Tammy is going to come up close and personal to the Leeward Islands. That's that island chain that runs down there towards South America, including U.S. Virgin Islands and a lot of other little islands there. It's going to come up close to that. Yes, they're going to get some tropical force winds, some rain, some waves, but it's not going to be a hurricane bombarding them. Then it's going to veer to the north, and then to the northeast, and then to the northeast. It's even going to go eastward of Bermuda. It's going to become a hurricane, but it's not going to impact the United States of America. It's not going to impact much of any land masses. Yes, not as a hurricane, but as tropical storm force winds. Yes, they're going to get it. But
Yes, it was strange.
the East Coast of the United States is not a target at this time.
I've been watching, like you have taught me, the National Hurricane Center is my number one go-to, because you know that they're spot on. But
Yeah. There might be weather guys who are hyping in something.
Yesterday I had
happen.
news break come across my phone that said Hurricane Tammy forecasted to lash the East Coast. And I'm like, what?
No.
When did that happen?
It did not.
No, it did not.
So just be careful of what you pay attention to. And that includes everything
Mhm.
out there. And whatever. Speaking of the border, a governor is taking matters into his own hands to help secure his state's northern border with Canada.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Governor Chris Sununu of New Hampshire. You don't hear about New Hampshire
right.
having border problems, right? But they do. He said yesterday he'll use $1.4 million in funding from New Hampshire's current budget to boost tenfold patrols by state and local law enforcement along the 58-mile border with Canada, while acknowledging that the deteriorating situation along America's southern border is overshadowed by the crisis along the southern border with Mexico. The governor emphasized that there have been more apprehensions along our northern border in just this past year than in the last 10 years combined.
My goodness.
Folks are flying into Canada. We know that's how the terrorists got here on 9/11, right?
Yeah.
They came into Canada and slipped into the United States across the northern border.
Correct.
Hello. So they've been apparently getting more and more and more prevalent.
Well, the FBI a couple days ago was able to apprehend some of these people on the terror watch list as they were trying to cross the border.
Yep.
So, they've spoofed it. They have really.
We know it's happening.
Yes, we know it's happening.
And the governor of New Hampshire, at least, is going to take some means and some measures to stop it.
And as we have been saying the last couple years, who knows what came through our borders?
We don't know. We don't know what's here right now because we just have not.
Set up a vape shop on every corner. We don't know.
Look up at, if you just go back to what occurred Bahamas. This is a plan that started in 2020,
Yes.
3 years ago,
Mhm.
if not before. This is the plan that they had for the last 3 years. They finally executed their plan 2 weeks ago. How many other individuals have they placed in this country with plans to sleeper cells, we used to call them?
Yes.
How many sleeper cells are there in this country? Folks who've come over individually and have gathered together with a plan of action.
Correct.
We don't know. How many homegrown terrorists have been drafted,
Correct.
have been united? It's like, really? Who knows? We don't know because for the last 3 or 4 years, we've done nothing. Not even when Trump was president did we do anything of any consequence. Build the wall. Yes, he started it, but he couldn't get it completed. And that became nothing but a bone of contention, political Bravo Sierra. What do you do? What can we do?
Well, the State Department now has released a worldwide travel advisory for all Americans.
Well, and Americans should pay attention to this. Those who
Very
decide
much
they
so.
want to go to, let's go visit some country in Europe, or how about down here in
Let's
Mexico?
go to France.
How about Mexico?
Mhm. Stay home.
Cancun. It sounds like a wonderful place. Have you seen the outlaws, the stories of the outlaws who are attacking residents, who are attacking tourists who are venturing outside the primary area of Cancun and
See,
other
I
resort
refused
locations?
to
I
let
know you did.
to let you talk about that until after I knew my granddaughter was home safe. She's home safe.
Uh-huh.
She went with the school.
Too bad Natalie Holloway did not
I
get
know
home
it.
safe.
I know it. I know it. It's just
There are predators out there, and there
They're
are
everywhere.
terrorists out there, outlaws out there. They're robbing American tourists every day who venture outside the wire, shall we say.
correct. We're in a mess. This country's in a mess. This nation's in a mess. The world's in a mess.
It
We need
is.
to come together. But I will tell you something. And I'm going to tell you something that warmed my heart yesterday. I was invited to a get together. It's community people that do things for other people. And I went, and the positivity amongst the people in this group, listening to the stories of the things they've done for people and plan on doing for our community. And it was all positivity and the nicest people you'd ever want to sit down and spend some time with. And it warmed my heart. It really gave me a renewed sense like there are good people.
There are lots of good people,
There are good people.
but they need to come together. They need to band together.
Well, this is a group from different, a county commissioner. He wasn't there yesterday though, and some other, group organizations that do nonprofit work. And the gentleman's house that we were at, he's now my new daddy. I asked he would be my daddy. He's such a wonderful man, and I'm just like I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first meeting I've been to in probably 5 or 6 years that somebody wasn't yelling and screaming or taking a negative side, and just being with these people who were all about doing good. It just
Well,
gave
that's
me
good.
such a renewed sense of hope.
Well, there was a group here known as the Neighbors at one time, back in the 1980s. My dad was part of it. Randolph Thomas was part of it. And
Good man.
a whole
Good
bunch
man.
of other individuals, local individuals, some politicians, some just neighbors.
Mhm.
And that's what they did. Their plan was, and which they did, they were going to follow the campaigns of local politicians. That was one of their items.
Right.
And they would keep notes of their promises,
Oh, I
their
see.
campaign
Yeah.
promises. And then they would hold them accountable when the Daily News had a letters to the editor section.
Oh, that
And
was
they would post, this is what he said, this is what he has done.
right.
Letters.
Right.
Uh-oh.
My dad used to write quite a few of those.
Uh-huh. My dad did on a
Not
regular
about
basis.
politics though, but
Anyway,
well, this group yesterday, there was no politics involved in this.
well, politics is
So-
involved in everything.
Yes,
Uh,
most everything. Yes, I agree to that.
pretty much everything.
But it's just nice to know that there's good people out there willing
Yeah.
to help other people, and it's not for political gain. It's not for notoriety.
Mhm.
It's just good people acting from their heart.
In about 15 minutes, we're going to have one of those really good people.
Yes.
We're going to be joining us in here this morning. Now, let me go ahead and tell you right up front. It's Dr. Barry Collins, the school superintendent. And during that time, I'm not going to be taking any phone calls. None. Zero, zilch, zippo. You can ring us up all you want. All we do is see the flash.
Right.
We don't hear the ring, so it won't bother us. I don't care. We have word that the dissidents, the same clowns that attacked the school board
right.
a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago, was it? Yeah. Are planning to implode and come in here. If they come through the doors in here, they'll be arrested and charged with trespassing.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, we invited Dr. Collins on the show.
We are not going to tolerate the same crap that the school board tolerated.
Right.
And at least one member of that school board promoted. We're not going to do it. Get off your high horse. It ain't going to happen here. This is our show. It ain't your show.
He's been on the show in the past, back a while back, and we haven't had anybody from the schools in a very long time.
No.
And this is about the goodness, what good the schools are doing and how they're doing, and our students. And that's what we're talking about. And that's why we invited him.
And I'm sure we will end up touching on the other topic too, about the dissidents and whatever. But that's a minor 2% of whatever we're going to be discussing today, if it even comes up.
Well, that's like I told you, I watch all the board meetings, the last one I actually attended, and they have a period during the meeting where they talk about the good news, and they show slides. Was anybody even paying attention to that?
Absolutely not.
I mean,
but we're going to highlight it today.
Yes, and that's what it's all about.
That's what we're here for.
We do commissioners. We're going to do schools. We do a lot of community stuff, and that's what we're here for, to spread the goodwill.
Let me explain to you folks the trespassing laws in the state. If I tell you you cannot come onto my property, and you come onto my property, you will be arrested. If I tell you, that's just if I tell you. Now, a gate, a fence is there to allow individuals to come through that I have invited.
Correct.
If you cross over that gate or through that gate or that fence without being invited, you will be arrested.
Do I need my helmet on?
No, you don't.
Okay.
You will be arrested. It's that simple. Okay? Dr. Collins is invited. He's the only one that we have invited. Other than my daughter and my granddaughter next door, in case they bring the doggy over.
Right.
It's that simple. If you don't understand Chapter 14, you better find yourself a lawyer, because you're going to find yourself behind bars.
Yep.
Simple enough?
That's true.
Okay.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
We will not tolerate the same stuff that the school board tolerated.
The difference is we don't have to.
We do not have to. They did not either. They did not either. They should have removed, even if they had to remove a school board member and the dissidents. They had the deputy sheriff there, and they should have requested that deputy to remove those dissidents from the premises. We don't have law enforcement here today, so you got to deal with me.
Oh.
You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Weather's next.
Freedom 97.1 WSME with Jacksonville Cardinal High School football.
Be sure to tune to WSME Freedom 97.1 FM and worldwide at WSME971.com tonight. Homecoming as the Cardinals host the Falcons of South Central High School from Winterville. Pre-game 6:30, kickoff 7 p.m., followed by the Golden Corral post-game report. Jacksonville High School football is made possible by the following fine sponsors: Southern Touch Painting and Maintenance, Wismart Chappie's Chicken, Great Gas Oil, Jones Funeral Home, OAJ, Drive-In Stores of Beulahville, Pro Image Solutions, Bryn Mawr Jewelers, the law offices of John Drew Warwick, Bayshore Animal Hospital, David Hull State Farm, American Dream Cakes, and Jersey Mike's.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, License plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for fall, and you should be too, with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. These lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility, and designed to deliver a premium cut. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and find out how the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series is tailored to help unlock all the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Safety on the highways begins with your tires. Before you hit the highway this upcoming holiday season, visit Battlefield Tire Pros, 103 Norris Road and Highway 24 in Swansboro, and let them inspect your tires for your peace of mind before traveling. Since 1963, Battlefield Tire Pros has served our community and military neighbors with name brands such as Michelin, Uniroyal, Firestone, Goodyear, and many others, including a good selection of used tires. They also carry lawnmower tires, four-wheeler tires, and motorcycle tires. And alignment service is available by appointment. Save time and money by skipping to dealerships and big box stores, and let locally owned and operated Battlefield Tire Pros handle all your tire needs. Battlefield Tire Pros at the corner of Norris Road and Highway 24 in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Phone 910-326-4178 or visit online battlefieldtirepros.com. Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Half-cut boneless ribeye loin is only $12.99 a pound. Beef short ribs are only $5.99 a pound. Boneless sirloin end pork chops, just $1.99 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck, $3.59 a pound. Pork spare ribs, just $1.79 a pound. And jumbo pack fire wings, just $2.99 a pound. And remember, pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use all the finest certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Urban Produce, Bartlett, or Bosque pears, just $1.49 a pound. Buy 1 pint of sweet grape tomatoes, get 1 pint free. Western apples, just $1.99 a pound. Fresh yellow or zucchini squash is only $2.49 a pound. Jumbo navel oranges, 99 cents each. North Carolina grown sweet potatoes, just 89 cents a pound. And jumbo green bell peppers, 99 cents each. And you get 2 8-packs of the 12-ounce size of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $10. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, where good things cost less. Down home, down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Choppy waters may make fishing a little complicated for a day or two, but we all know that the fall fishing season is just beginning. Talk about a great week or so. Reports of nice kings and Spanish mackerel close to shore with a number of kings caught on fishing piers. Got that? Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Spanish up and down the New River, knocking on Jacksonville's back door. During the downtime, you might want to stop in at Tideline Marine. Stock up on the lures you know you're going to need. Register for the weekly prizes that Tideline offers. Check out the cool Bull Bay rods. Pick one up, and you just might end up having to take it home. Ask Todd or George about the cool boats in stock right now at today's prices. At today's prices, as we all know, prices are likely, well, I should say guaranteed to increase next year. It's one of the realities the marine industry deals with. Maybe all you need is a new motor. Tideline is repowering one boat right now with a pair of 350 Mercuries, another with a 70 Merc. American made, American power. Tideline Marine on the banks of the New River at 159 Old Bridge Street in downtown Jacksonville. There is a small craft advisory in effect beginning this afternoon through late Saturday night. Today, westerly winds around 10 knots, increasing to 15 to 20, gusts to 25 knots in the afternoon, guaranteed to bring in some bigger seas. Seas predicted to be 3 to 5, dominant period 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. Gust of 30 knots in the morning, seas 4 to 6 feet, 3 to 5 near shore. Dominant period 5 seconds. That means they're going to be close together and a bit choppy. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. Tomorrow, Sunday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15, seas 3 to 4. Adjacent sounds and rivers, a moderate chop.
And today we have areas of dense fog before 10 a.m., a slight chance of rain before 3 p.m., and then a 60% chance of showers after 5 p.m. Partly sunny with a high near 74, winds 5 to 10 in the afternoon, wind gusts as high as 17 miles per hour. Tonight, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms likely before 11 p.m. Mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear with a low around 53. West wind 7 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Saturday, sunny with a high near 71. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 71. It'll be a nice weekend after tonight.
Ball games tonight. Hopefully, the rain will.
Well, I was checking radar this morning, and it looks like there's a period between about 5 and 9.
Ooh.
No rain.
Well,
But
the Cardinals will have to play fast, call no timeouts tonight, and just move on. Have a lot of touchdowns right up front.
that's right. Or they're going to do that anyway. They're
Yeah, I
playing
hope
South
so.
Central.
Anyway,
We're going to beat them.
We're wearing our red, traditional
right.
Friday red. So
Friday red.
we're good to go for the Cardinals tonight.
We'll be out there
what's
tonight.
the name of it? Something South Central out of
South Central
Winterville.
out of Winterville.
Yeah, okay. And
So
their record has not been real good this year.
not as good as ours.
And it's also homecoming night.
It's also homecoming.
yes.
So as Ms. Miller said yesterday, guys, don't get distracted by
Do not
homecoming.
get
Do not get
distracted.
distracted.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Barry Collins, Superintendent of the Onslow County School System. Good morning, sir.
Good
How are you?
morning. Good
It's
morning.
been a long time
It
since we've
has.
had you on.
Yeah, it's been
It has,
quite a while. First time here, and we've been here for a year and a half or so.
Yeah, I think I've been on. I think maybe this is my fourth. I called in a couple of
Yes,
times.
you have.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we do appreciate you coming in this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
so
we've been
much,
talking about getting you for quite a while because we'd like to hear about
Sure.
the good news about the schools and the shape they're in. Because
Absolutely.
I know y'all went through such a time with the COVID and having to deal with
Yeah.
online. And now that you're back running full speed,
Yeah.
how are we doing in the schools?
We're doing great. I first of all, thank you for having me on the show. I really
Anytime.
appreciate it. And if you don't mind, I'll just kind of give you a little background of who we are and what Onslow County Schools is about, and then we'll kind of get into some of the things that we're doing that's really good. So, first of all, we have about 28,000 students.
Oh, wow. That's up a bit.
Yeah, it's up a little bit. We're down just a little bit this year from where we were projected for this year. We got 42 sites. We're building a new school over on Belgrade Swansboro. We should be in it, I think, in 25, 26.
Was that the Woodlands, I think? it was?
Woodland, yes, and that's the old Tabernacle site.
Yeah,
If you remember, I actually went to school there.
Yeah.
I was a Silverdale Tabernacle and White Oak guy. Graduated
Really?
in '84.
That was my daughter.
White Oak High School. So, speaking about the games tonight, we got Jacksonville playing. I think White Oak is playing Richlands tonight,
Yes.
maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
So both teams are doing really well. All of our teams actually this year in the county are doing really
Dixon
well. So
has come from behind.
They have.
Richlands has come from
they
behind.
have.
So
They have.
that's cool.
It is
Swansboro, They're still on the
Yeah.
on the teeter-totter.
Yeah. But they're all doing really well this year in their athletics, and want to just talk about a little bit about our test scores and how that's going.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, it is.
We need to make sure
it's what we're measured by, and it's not always the thing that we want to concentrate on, and that's the end deal. But at the end of the day, how you move kids from point A to point B is how we're going to be measured. And so last year, and again, coming off, as you said, we came off when I took over in March of 2019, we were all coming off the back of a hurricane.
Yes.
And so we were out 38 days during that year. And then we had COVID. And so last year was really the first year that you would say would be normal. So the result here, there are 18 indicators in the EOGs and EOCs, which is integrated and in the course test. K-12. We advanced, or we increased our proficiency levels and our growth levels in 13 of the 18 of those.
Good.
So that was really good. We moved our graduation rate from, I think it was 88% to 91%. We were one of 31. There's 115 LEAs, which is local education agencies, which we usually refer to them as counties because there's 100 counties, but there are other city schools.
So like Mecklenburg County has got a city and a county school system. I think Whiteville area, do they still have?
Whiteville City, Clinton City. Yep. So there's a couple of city schools that are still left. So there's 115 of them. So we were one of 31 in that group that met or exceeded the state's goal in graduation rate. So we're real proud of that. We were recognized recently by the state superintendent, Catherine Truitt, who will be here next week. She will be in Onslow County next week. We'll get a talk with her. We were recognized as one of four LEAs in the state that had extreme K-3 literacy growth, which is a huge indicator for us, because if you're moving those kids in the lower levels, you're going to see the
advance all the way up through
the
ranks. That's cool.
We had 7 schools that are in the top 25. 7 of our schools, and they're called platinum schools.
Wow.
Swansboro High School was in the top 4. Jacksonville High School, go Cardinals, was in the top 2. And then, of course, our early college has done really well.
Yes.
Really well. They've been recognized not only from the state standpoint as one of the best in the state, but also nationally.
Some people don't know what early college is.
Yes,
I do, because my granddaughter participated in that a couple of years ago.
My granddaughter too.
So explain that.
Okay, so what happens is we started out, I think 5 years ago, we had 50. We had 50 ninth graders that we started at the early college. The early college is over on the campus of Coastal Carolina Community College. So the idea is that they get the first 2 years of high school credits. And by their junior year, they still have a few high school credits to get, but then they start branching out into a lot of the community college offerings. And so the end result that we want to see is when they graduate, they will graduate with a high school diploma and an associate's degree at the same time. So
how cool is that?
It's awesome. And right now we have a little over 200 kids in that program.
Really?
Last year or year before last, we had a kid that graduated and received a full scholarship to Harvard University. And I think that's the first time that that's happened. Now we've had students who have gone on to Harvard, but not to have a full ride, and that was really he did a really good job for us. So
that's absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Harvard. Wow.
So those are some good things. We're building the school out on Belgrade Swansboro Road. I want to talk a little bit about the growth in the county, because that is that impacts all of us.
I mean, we went from 20,000 students not that many years ago to now 28,000. That means a whole bunch of people have moved into Onslow County.
A whole bunch of people have, and there's certain areas that we're seeing the most growth. And And if you've been around the county, you know the Stump Sound area is just taking off.
Blown up.
Sneeze Ferry, North Topsail, Stump Sound.
Yeah. We just built a school, K5, Coastal Elementary School down there, and it's already full. We're probably going to have to build another one in that area in the next 5 to 10 years. But right now we've got the one that's, and if you drive by there, you'll see we've already got some work going on. There's some demolition that has on that site and some site work with drainage and that sort of thing. So that'll be a K5 school as well. And that'll take care of that, what we're seeing on the Belgrade Swansboro,
right,
all the way to Swansboro, the Queens Creek area, down in that way, to try to alleviate some of the pressure off of those elementary schools in Swansboro. So,
Well, how many total schools do we have right now?
right now we have 42 sites. Again, we're right at 28,000 students. We teeter-totter a little bit. We have about 4,000 employees, 3,500 that are full-time employees, and then we have part-time as well. We do about $350 million a year in our budget, and I brought a copy of that just so you guys can have. We have 1,500 acres of grass to mow, so it's a big business. And
bless you, I don't like mowing grass.
You just don't think about those things, do you, when you think of schools?
No.
Like, who mows the grass?
Because all the infrastructure is
Right.
huge for that.
Tremendous.
And of course, one of the things that you and I have talked about in the past, Ms. Rufford, is the bus situation.
I know.
Yeah, we try to promote that for you here.
We appreciate that.
You need bus drivers.
We need bus drivers. We're running about 70% capacity right now. I think the last we need somewhere between 50 and 60 bus drivers today, right now. Wow. So we're running double and triple routes.
All right.
We were able to alleviate some of that and make it more efficient by changing some of our bell times. That's one of the things that we did this year. We aligned our bell times so that the schools were
staggered.
Yes,
staggered arrival times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and that was, we didn't really want to do that, and we've got some high schools that start pretty early, and we know what the research says. You don't need to. High school kids probably do better if you start a little bit later, but we had to. We had no other choice because of what we were seeing in transportation. Right.
Even way back in the 60s, I do recall, maybe even the 50s, late 50s, we had city buses here at one time. We now have them again, and apparently the schools contracted with them, but it costs the students like 15 cents
to ride the bus
to get to school.
Right.
What?
Before your time, we had buses here,
way before my
seashore
time.
type buses, whatever,
Right.
and they would travel certain neighborhoods because there were not enough buses or bus drivers. I'm not sure which, but
Interesting.
So I'm gonna divulge my age here. I am 58 years old.
You're much younger than I am.
But back when I was in school, everybody says, "Well, when I was in school."
Right, yeah.
Well, when I was in school, I drove a bus.
So did I.
Junior and senior year. That was back when students could drive buses, and we didn't have any issue finding bus drivers back then because there was a line.
So why can't we do that now?
I don't know. I think there's laws and rules against that.
Why?
I think you have to be 21 now, so that kind of
takes
knocks out.
care of that.
Yeah, it kind of takes care
pretty
of all
much.
that. But when we did have student drivers,
We were the safest drivers we have ever had.
Yes, yeah. Now the bus did go a little bit slower because I think
35 miles per
that's
hour
right.
was
They had them
max.
governed at 35, but we didn't have any issue finding bus drivers. Matter of fact, my wife, she drove a bus for Jacksonville High School. My wife is a graduate at Jacksonville.
Well,
so-
good. Go
Smart
Cards.
woman. That's why you married her.
There you go.
But I drove it for 2 years. Well, actually 2 years and a few months because I was a substitute the first year
Right.
because they had plenty of drivers,
Right.
but they always look for substitutes at that time.
I took the course and was just about ready to get the license when I got a job elsewhere. So
Right.
got a call for a
Well,
job.
that's good money.
I made a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah,
I made $30 a month.
yeah.
$30 a month.
And that was a lot of money though back then. You could go and buy your school clothes.
That
and
was
stuff
20,
like
20, 20 days, I think is the way it was at that time. $30 for 20 days. And I ran 3 routes a day.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
1 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. So you boil that down, that's 50 cents per route.
That's right. But that was good money back then.
Well, you know, it was fun. It was
and you had to go to school anyway, so you might as well drive a bus.
The good old days, yes.
I didn't have to have a car. I just drove the bus.
Right.
And I got to bring it home. We parked ours here.
Yes, I'd park my bus at my house. Yeah. Back then. Of course, I was up White River. I don't know if I ever told you where I live, but you go to Belgrade, turn left, and go up White River.
Right.
There's a little community up there people know about. It's called Loco. Loco. There's actually a fire department up there.
I've never been in that direction. I always go the other way.
Go to Belgrade and turn left on White River Road. It's about 7 miles up.
This is going to be a trip for me. I just want to go up there.
Yeah, the end of that road is right there. It runs into the Huffman Forest.
Okay.
And it turns into a dirt road. And you can actually come out up here at the on Gum Branch Road.
Really?
Yeah. It's about 10 miles.
Gum Branch Inn. Oh my gosh.
Remember that?
I remember that. Yes. Yes.
So
Okay, we just had a comment from a friend of ours. I was a bus driver my junior and senior year. I don't remember a single bus incident, and it was welcome income at that age. We had to have a perfect driving record and keep high grades.
No tickets.
That's right.
She was a bus driver.
I really wish we'd bring it back, honestly. Now, I understand the liability and all of that. There's
liability was there then.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
And, you know, at 35 miles per hour, that was fine. No problem.
I think it would solve one of our issues.
What was your bus number?
Oh, my goodness. I had several. I
had 2.
48. I had old 48. I think 127 was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
48 would be bad for me because that's my favorite race car driver. So, 48 probably would not be good for me to drive.
No, it would not. Well, I had 2 buses. One of them was a 1954 International Harvester.
Wow.
Was it a cab over?
No.
It wasn't a cab over.
It was just a regular bus. And the bus number was 54.
About that.
And then the other one was I finally got upgraded to bus 115. And there's a 1964, I think, GMC.
Right.
That was it was a new bus.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I almost got into trouble. I should have been removed. Or at the old junior high, which is now New Bridge.
New Bridge.
One of my routes was to take the junior high, pick up the junior high kids, take them home in the afternoons, and then come back and pick up the high school and take them home.
Right.
So I was over there, and somebody hollered at me, one of those little kiddies. Hey, this so-and-so, won't call his name. It doesn't matter. He's dead now. He's just cut the back of your seat.
Oh, boy.
He had a knife.
Uh-oh.
Brand new bus.
Oh.
Mr. Redford was the principal over there.
I remember.
He didn't take kindly to that.
Well, he didn't have a choice. I picked the boy up, took him to the back of the bus. I said, "You're banned. You will not ride this bus today or any other day." Opened the back door, and I dropped him out the back door.
Right.
Mr. Redford was standing right there.
Right.
I closed the door. Mr. King, Bundy King, was the principal, assistant principal at that time. Next morning, he said, "Need to talk to you. What happened?" I told him. He said, "Well, good. I'm writing him up. He will not ride any bus." A few years later, I had to go to Whaley's Supermarket.
I remember Whaley's, yes.
Between that and the laundromat that was next door, because that same boy was shot and killed.
Yeah.
By a police officer. Let's take a break. You're live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, here we go to this Freak D's, and don't forget about Sports Talk with Chris Rayner, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Great interviews, the latest in local, college, and pro sports. Chris Rayner is number one. Find Chris right here on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 AM WSME.
Coastal Bank and Trust thanks you for allowing us the privilege of handling all your banking needs, including personal and commercial loans to mortgage services. With locations in Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Richlands, and Morehead City, Coastal Bank and Trust truly is a community bank dedicated to those we serve and is proud to be a part of the continued growth of Onslow, Carteret, and surrounding counties. And looks forward to meeting you. Thank you for voting us the best of the best 5 years in a row. FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
The Borough Restaurant and Bar in Swansboro is hiring. We're currently looking for experienced line cooks and expos. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. The Borough is open 7 days a week. Stop by for an application. Our sister restaurant, Il Cigno Italiano, is also hiring line cooks, expos, and bartenders. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. The Borough Restaurant on Front Street and Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue, both in Swansboro.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vented cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 727 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to paint and maintain, power wash, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back here for a couple minutes before we have to take another break. I was going to try to double up, and I missed the button.
Well, I just have to say, talking to Dr. Collins earlier and learned who his father was.
Yeah.
I knew his father. And I didn't realize that you were a local homegrown Onslow, what do you say, county?
I was actually born in the old hospital. Dr. Barnes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dr.
Russ
Barnes was my
Barnes,
daughter's
yeah.
doctor too.
He was a
It's
ham
just
radio
such
guy
a-
too, by the way.
Such a
Yeah,
small
right.
Yeah, I
world.
used to talk to him.
Yeah, but I knew we were kids, and so I didn't know him on a personal level, but we saw him just about every day at the old Rambler place.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
where we go get our sodas and our
Yeah.
peanuts that we would put in the
Jerry
Coke bottles.
Yeah,
and-
I told Jerry
Yes.
about that. And he's my neighbor down here. He likes to come up and eat oysters with me. And I went down
Yes.
there this last oyster season. He called me one afternoon. He said, "You want some oysters?" I go, "Oh, I'll be right there."
I saw him the other day. I
He
was
was-
pulling out, and he stopped me. He goes, "How's things in the trailer park?" I said, "Well, Mr. Pelletier, I haven't lived there like in 50 years, you know."
Well, that was also one of my bus routes.
Was
Is that
it?
right?
Yeah, I went through.
You could have been my bus driver.
No, you weren't even barely born then.
No, I was probably, yeah.
I don't know whether I drove a
Probably
elementary. I drove an elementary. I probably drove elementary through there. Yeah,
You could have been my bus
Could
driver.
have been on my bus. I don't know.
It's a small world.
Yeah, it is.
Small
Yeah,
world.
it was kind of a nasty drive through there because of the turns and stuff like that.
And
with
the
a big,
speed bumps.
with a big, yeah,
And then sometimes potholes.
Well, I, not that I ever played games, but I could have played games if I had been mean and evil.
Right.
As you get over the first bump, that's my part.
Right.
And just as you get over, ready to hit the back bump, speed up just a little bit, and the little
Oh,
kids.
so
go
you
bounce
were
up.
the driver. You definitely were my driver. I remember now.
They probably enjoyed that.
They did. They all cheered every time that
Of course we
happened.
did.
So that was always fun. Let's take another break here, and we'll be right back here live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Modern Exterminating 627 College Street, Jacksonville has proudly been serving. Modern Exterminating 627 College Street, Jacksonville has proudly been serving the pest control needs of Onslow and surrounding counties since 1952. That's 70 years of protecting the health and property of our citizens from rodents, termites, mosquitoes, and all other pests. Modern Exterminating offers inspection without obligation. Being authorized to serve government quarters, Modern Exterminating takes this opportunity to thank those who serve and allowing us to handle all your pest control needs. If what they use don't zap them, they'll trap them. And if you're not satisfied, they'll step on them. The bug stops here. Modern Exterminating, family owned and operated since 1952. Call today, 910-455-5122. That's 910-455-5122 for Modern Exterminating.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
If you have a project that requires ready-mix concrete, whether a driveway, patio, livestock housing, outdoor kitchen, or something special for the holidays, Mixed Masters Concrete of Beulaville can handle the job. Large or small, Mixed Masters Concrete offers residential, commercial, and agricultural contract work with professional service and fast delivery. Owner Scott Thigpen provides free estimates, and Mixed Masters Concrete will deliver on Saturdays. In addition to expert concrete service, KPT Masonry does complete concrete finishing. So, for ready-mix concrete and professional concrete finishing, phone 910-298-6153. Mixed Masters Concrete and KPT Masonry of Beulaville. Proud to be part of the continuing growth of Eastern North Carolina, and thanks all our military families and all that serve.
It's not for everyone, only for you. The medication your doctor prescribes is exclusively yours to take as directed. Nobody else should be taking it. It's up to you to keep your medication secure and to safely dispose of any unused medications. Don't let anyone take what's yours. Your prescription, your responsibility. Be aware, don't share. Lock your meds.
Supported by NCDA DHHS, Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Abuse Services. Visit LockyMeds.org/NC.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843. Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back, and in the studio with us, Dr. Barry Collins, school superintendent here for Onslow County. He's an Onslow County born and bred young man, and been superintendent. You were assistant superintendent for a while.
For about 12 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then became superintendent, took over in 2019.
2019.
So,
March 1.
Okay.
You had some great staff. I just want to put it out there. I met one of your staff members not long ago, Christopher
Barnes.
What a great guy.
Let me tell you, I'm glad you mentioned that because I cannot give them enough praise. CJ Korenick is our HR chief. Our chief financial officer, Jeff Holloman, is known across the state. These people are known across the state, and other LEAs all across the state call our folks because they're so knowledgeable. Yeah.
Wow.
CJ, Brandon Gartner is doing a great job. Jeff Pittman, and I have the best assistant in Jody Ramsey.
She
has lived through several superintendents
She's a home girl too.
Yeah, she is, and she does a great job for us. I couldn't do it without her. Those are the people that really keep me going. And I'll just tell you, Mr. Rayford, when you and I talked, and I might get a little emotional, but I was considering retiring. In January, when you and I talked, but because what has happened the last couple of months, it has just invigorated me. I feel like I have got a lot more energy now, and the folks around me are tired of it, and we're just ready to go. And we here with a campaign theme of raising the bar.
I like that.
And that has really stuck, and our folks are really behind it. And when I meet with principals almost every day, I'm out and doing their evaluations and looking at their schools. It's unbelievable, the good work that's going on. And I will tell you, 98% of the things that we do is positive. It is good stuff. Nobody's perfect. None of us are.
No.
So we're going to have our issues. I just want us to be able to sit down and figure out how to do that with civility and integrity and honesty. And that's really my prayer, is that as we move forward, that we do that. So, but again, we've got some other stuff here I could talk about if you want to. Us to talk about safety and security, because
we're going to talk about that after the break.
Okay,
but definitely that's probably should be the hottest topic that we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
And given our world situation right now, is probably hotter in the minds of a whole lot more people.
Right.
After the events 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Right.
A lot of people are concerned. The border, I know that impacts people. Don't understand. There's no state right now that's not a border state that's not impacted by that situation along the border. And we hear this morning from New Hampshire governor, he's putting a lot of money into protecting their border from Canada, because they have had more people in this last year that they've found and than they've had in the last 10 years coming across their border illegally.
Right.
So, we all are impacted by this. Our security.
Yes. Yeah.
School security.
Yeah.
People are concerned about that. And the unfortunate, and I'm not going to call it an incident, I'm going to call it a murder, because the unfortunate murder on day one
last
a year ago.
Right. Oh, it was just.
It's just absolutely not Onslow County.
It is not. It is not. And it's very unfortunate.
But I know it was gang related.
It was gang related,
Yep.
and that's no excuse.
Both individuals.
Yeah.
The victim too.
Right.
Was.
And I was told by, Ernie Lee met me that day at the school along with Chief Unero, and we had a discussion about the situation that afternoon, and it could have happened with a pencil.
It could have.
It could have happened with a wood pencil. It was just where he was struck with that knife, and sad situation.
I did one at a place called Mary's Place. It was a joint in Richlands. I processed that for the sheriff's office in the 70s, and there was a pool stick involved. When I got there, the guy was laid out with a broken pool stick in his head, in his chest.
Right. Right.
So
it can happen.
It happens. You're live and local, Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden, in an address to the nation, is asking Congress for more funding for Ukraine and Israel, linking Russian President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine to Hamas terrorists attacking Israel.
Hamas and Putin represent different threats, but they share this in common. They both want to completely annihilate a neighboring democracy, completely annihilate it.
The president says American leadership is what holds the world together. Police in Maryland are investigating a judge's murder.
Someone shot and killed a circuit court judge at his home in Hagerstown, Maryland. Washington County deputies say they responded Thursday night and found 52-year-old Andrew Wilkinson in his driveway bleeding. They rushed him to the hospital where he died.
Fox's Carmen Roberts police have not said anything about a possible motive or publicly identified as such. Judge Wilkinson was sworn in about 3 years ago. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1
WSME.
It's live and local. Real Talk.
And we're back, and again in the studio with us, Dr. Barry Collins. You know what, the stories that we can share in here, since we're all from Onslow County.
Yes.
And it's just amazing.
We're
some of the
talking
things
about
that have happened.
Junior high principal, Lewis Sewell. I was so scared of that man.
He was a nice guy. He was in Jacksonville High teaching.
Yeah, he was
when I was
Northwest Park. They call it middle school now. I could still call it junior high. He was the principal there, and I'll never forget. I got called out of class one day into the hallway.
Did you get spanked?
Threatened with a paddle for talking, and I'm like, "What?" It was an April Fool joke. I just happened to be the one student they picked. I was traumatized from that day on.
Oh, poor baby.
I saw Mr. Sewell coming down the hall. I was like,
I didn't do it. Believe me, I didn't do it. I get witnesses.
It's like, do you need a grass mowed or anything? Can I pick up trash? That man scared me. He was a good person.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's talk about safety and security in schools. Okay, that's and again, we heard that so many parents for the last 2 weeks were afraid to send their kids to school. Not around here. I didn't hear it from around here. We have a different environment here.
Right.
We got a lot of military dependents and everything else here, so we don't have quite the same environment that they have in some of the inner city schools. New York, let me just go there. New York or Los Angeles or wherever. We don't have that kind of an environment, but we do have a potential for anything at any time. We have school resource officers. They got more of them now. Going to be more in the budget, the upcoming budget.
Yes, sir. And just a little bit about our SRO program. I actually have something I wanted to share with you guys, and you can keep this copy. But this is a joint meeting that we have every year with our resource officers and Ernie Lee, our DA. And Brent Anderson. I failed to mention Brent earlier. I could not do this without Brent Anderson either. He's the face of this county.
Yes, he is.
And
Good
he's
guy.
a communicator and does an excellent job for us. But him and Brandon Gardner put this together. And so we have the police department, our SROs from the police department here in Jacksonville, and the ones from our sheriff's department. And just to give you a little history, this goes back over 25 years. This started with Dr. Singletary, and I believe at the time the sheriff was Ed Brown. It could have been Billy Woodward. Maybe
25 years ago, it's probably Ed.
Probably Ed.
Right.
Ed Brown, and I cannot remember the police chief's name at that time. His name slips me. Halbert. They got together, and they were one of the first. Onslow County was one of the first counties in the state of North Carolina to actually develop a joint meeting and a joint relationship between the schools and the law enforcement. And so that started out, I want to say there were just a handful of resource officers at that time, maybe
Probably.
4 or 5 at some of our larger schools, high schools. And that has grown over the years to the point that we have a resource officer in all 42 schools. And we have 2 resource officers in some of our larger high schools. And this year, we hired 2 additional, what we call safety and security officers. One of them is a sergeant with the sheriff's department, Sergeant Knoll, and the other is Sergeant Ricks from the police department. And they both work out of our central office, but they're hardly ever in their office. They're out going to school and checking on things. So that's something that we've added this year. We've also added metal detectors.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard about that.
Well, we got to walk through them at the ball game.
Yeah. So
I didn't mind.
yeah, it's no. Most people don't, and they want to feel safe. There is some inconvenience though that comes along with safety, right?
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. So,
we those of us who fly have gotten accustomed to that since 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So right now we have, I think there's 17 metal detectors that have portable. So we're able to move them from school to school. One of the things that we're doing is we're doing random entry. I think a couple of weeks ago we did it at Northside High School. We had all 17 metal detectors show up the night before, and here's the thing about metal detectors. It's not just the metal detector, right? You got to have folks there to man the metal detector
and know what they're looking for.
and how to operate. And it's 36 people it took to man that. And it took us about 45 minutes to an hour delay getting all the students
That's okay.
through. But we were
Did you
able
find
to do
anything?
that. We did. Mainly vapes. Vapes are a real big thing now.
Yep.
And we found a big. I think by the end of the day, we had like a half-gallon bag of vapes.
Wow.
So
Any weapons?
Not that I'm aware of. Not on that day.
Okay.
Now later on, we found a weapon. A student was trying to sell some vapes in the bathroom, and and here's the thing about murders are not the answer to it all, right? It's the people that are there observing is your best weapon.
Yes.
So we've added a student monitor position to every school. So we have 42 of those.
Wow.
That goes along with the SROs. The student monitor and one of the staff members noticed something was looking a little fishy. And so they went in the bathroom. They saw the student handing over the vape. And of course, he had a big wad of money. So they did a search. They did the wand and they found some stuff. Well, that's where the gun was actually found, inside the student's medical bag, because this student had a medical condition.
That's how that came about.
That's how it
we've
came
all
about.
wondered about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
The student had a medical condition, and it ended up that the student, this particular student, I won't call his name obviously, but had been shot in a shootout in Cardinal Village the year before, and that's why he had a medical bag. So it all kind of usually falls back to a certain, usually not always, but usually a certain element that we already are aware of.
Was he a member of a gang?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I know that?
Yeah.
That
And
answer already.
and Mr. Rayford, we've been doing the best we can to eliminate. I can tell you, and Jody can probably give you the numbers right off the top of her head, but we have term suspended and expelled. Now, there's a difference
That's
between
a very
long-term.
big difference.
Expelled means you're gone
Forever.
More kids the last year than we have in probably 5 years put together.
Wow.
Just because of this situation that we have in our community with that's all gang related. So, but we're doing the best we can to remove them from our schools.
Good.
Yes, one
Excellent.
step at a time.
You know, and you know, let's, not that we wanted to even bring this up, but we're going to talk about it just a little bit. That White Oak High School, it wasn't at White Oak High School incident, the shooting.
No, sir. It was right across the street.
Yes.
It was probably, I don't know, 100 yards, from the school.
Right.
And it was after school.
Yes.
That took place. And anyway, it was a drive-by kind of thing that happened. I don't know that it would have gotten as much attention if it had happened at the mall.
It would not.
So it is because it was real close to the. And listen, my heart goes out to these families that was involved in that.
Yeah.
We certainly don't want things like that to happen. We had things that we feel like we have in place, and also because of that incident, we were able to look at our process and procedures and make some adjustments to what we do. But you have to remember that took place on the second day of school.
Right.
So
a lot of folks will say, that if the school knows something, like I preach all the time, the school needs to say something in advance, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is the second day of school. You couldn't have known a whole lot.
No, there were some indicators that was given to the principal from, actually it started with the grandmother had made contact, and reason that the grandmother did was because they had a working relationship
with the principal.
Okay. And so some things were put in place. As a matter of fact, a schedule was changed the very next day. So that on day one, the very next day of school, there was a schedule change to help alleviate
before the shooting.
Yes.
Interaction, yes.
And there was a cell phone issue. And I think that's where maybe some of our folks have a problem with, how this thing came about. But the cell phone was recovered the same day and was given back to the property owner the same day. And then that evening is when this happened. So it all happened fairly quickly. And I think Joycelyn Cathy, the principal at White Oak High School, did everything that she knew to do at the time that it was happening. And I think people need to understand that if it's always easy to play, Monday morning quarterback after the plays happen. But when you're in it at that time, in real time, it just didn't go down that way. It didn't feel that way. But obviously now you can look back and say, well, if we had done this, then that would have changed things. Well, it might have changed it, might not have changed it. We don't know.
You don't know.
Right.
There's no way of knowing how that would play out. Right. I can tell you that. I've seen that before. I'm glad you guys. I'm going to have a pleasure reading this report.
Sure.
Yes.
But the first page that when he gets into the report talks about the duties of the principals or responsibilities.
Yes, sir.
Powers and duties of the principal.
Right.
Going to make that standard.
Yes, sir.
From 42 with 42 institutions.
Right. That's right.
It appears to be, which I want to read it too, a very comprehensive report.
Yes.
And it covers so much. And the ones involved in this, you're talking about your district attorney, you're talking about your police chief, your sheriff, and then it goes on later on into the report talking about other law enforcement that are involved in this. So
Mhm.
it appears to be a very comprehensive report. Who would have thought we'd ever have to do this?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
we've been doing it for a while. Yeah.
I mean, it covers visitors to the schools, you know, unauthorized, disruptive visitors,
Yeah.
student searches, everything. So
Yeah.
I
And it's
can't
a
wait to do
different
that,
role,
yes.
you know, being a police officer or a deputy sheriff, and you're out with the general population of people
Mhm.
one
is
story.
different. That's one story. But when you're on a campus with students, that's a whole different ball game.
It is.
And so the training that they have to go through to make that difference and working with the principal, and that is the key to all of this. And Chris Thomas, our sheriff, and I have had many conversations about this, and he is a good man, and I like Chris
He's
a lot.
a very good man.
And he and I are definitely on the same page when it comes to the relationship between the principal and the SRO has to be good, and it has to be cooperative. You can't have any friction there because that causes problems. And so we talk about that an awful lot. And Ernie Lee does a really good job when we have these, because, you know, Ernie services, I think, 5 counties.
Yes, it does.
And he raves about Onslow County being the only county out of those 5 that actually does this.
It's proactive.
Is proactive.
Yep.
about it,
Right.
Yeah, he's
Well,
mentioned that to me before too.
Being proactive, that's great.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, you know, as things develop, you may have to adjust here, adjust there. That's all part
And
of
there are
it.
things that are going to slip through the cracks. I don't care what you do.
Oh,
You're going to find
absolutely.
a guy with a medical bag with a gun.
That's right.
Right.
That's
You're,
right.
you're, good gracious. You know, they find that kind of stuff on airplanes. They find it everywhere, and they've got very sophisticated stuff, metal detectors, X-rays, all sorts of good stuff.
Right.
But things can slip through the cracks. If you've got bad people out there who want to do bad things,
They're gonna find a way.
to get
That's
it.
you know,
right.
That's right.
even when I was a police officer, there was some guy had slipped through into a building in Atlanta and shot a bunch of people. He had
Mhm.
multiple guns on him,
Mhm.
and they said from my fellow officer, how can you have that many guns on you and not go undetected?
Right.
Next day I came in off duty with the shirt, much like it was a t-shirt,
Mhm.
and I said, "Am I armed?" He said, "Oh, you probably are." I said, "Well, probably doesn't count. How many guns do I have on me?"
Right.
I had 5.
Mm-hmm. They couldn't
Nobody,
tell.
cops could not see it.
Right. Right.
None
I
of
did want to show you this little app that we have.
Uh-huh.
It's called Raptor. It's an alert system, and you can see here. I wish we could show this to
I
everybody.
can. Let me just. take a
But we
picture.
can pull up. I can pull up any school that we have, and basically, you can take a picture of that.
Mhm.
That's Raptor,
We'll get it out.
and each employee, you can have it on your phone. If you don't want it on your phone, you can on your one-to-one device. So all of our teachers are given a device, like a laptop. But most teachers have it on their phone.
Sure.
In the event that something goes down, all they have to do is push a button.
Oh yeah.
You push a button. Any school.
Lockdown.
Yes, sir.
Evacuate shelter.
Can the people have that?
No, just the
Okay.
employees.
Okay.
Of course,
Oh,
the
Lord.
principal and the teachers are the main ones that have them. And of course, all of our folks in the central office and our safety people. And we run drills, and there's a place on here for drills. So if the principal, by law, they have to conduct a tornado drill or earthquake. We have earthquake drill, believe it or not.
Well, it can
Hurricane,
happen.
fire drills. Obviously, we have to
Right.
do those each month. But we also have lockdown, and there's soft lockdown, hard lockdown. There's different lockdowns based on, is the intruder outside? Is he inside? So we have to have all of those drills. And so that Raptor alert goes off all the time because of the drills that 42 schools are doing, all the time. So anyway, I did want to show you that because
That's
that's
cool.
fairly new. It's I think this is our 2nd or 3rd year that we've been using it. But that's something that we use. We also have the Say Something. You mentioned that earlier, and so that's an anonymous tip line that is on our website, and anybody can get to, and they put in
Including the dissidents.
including everybody, anybody. They can put in.
Sorry.
And we have to track it down. And we have folks that we hire, that looks at that stuff. And of course, a lot of it is bogus. But you have to take a threat as to what it is, and you have to track it down and move through.
So we ain't sitting back as who was it used to say? We're not just sitting here doing nothing.
No, sir. We've taken it very seriously. A lot of it, we have to keep in house and keep.
I do not
close
want
to the
know.
vest.
I can know, but I don't want everybody else to know.
Exactly.
You do not want to know what your shortcomings are.
Right.
But you do find out that you have shortcomings, and you evaluate through your testing process, right?
That's correct.
So, but if you guys out there, if you as a parent, as a student, or as anybody else, if you know something, if you see something, go to the website and say it. My God.
Right, exactly.
Don't hold it to yourself. Don't say, oh, I heard about that. I knew this was going to happen after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Now, you said you had a website. Do you also have a phone number they can call?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it's on there. I can't remember the exact number, but
Okay,
one
so
number you can call
post
is
that later.
455-211. That's our central office
And
number.
you'll get
But
there.
all those numbers are in there that are on the website.
And if it's an immediate situation, there's one specific number you can call.
911. That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah. We did just one little example over in Jacksonville Commons area. Not on the school grounds part, but in that complex.
Yeah.
They have that walking track.
Right.
Around. And every once in a while, you'll see like a park bench, sitting there. Well, somebody had gone on to our Say Something app and said, "Hey, I've been by this park bench a couple of times, and it looks like there's a bag sitting there."
Oh.
And do you know? It turned out that it was a
drop.
It was. We don't know exactly, but it was a purse. It was a woman's purse, and it had a weapon in it.
Really?
It sure did. And I think that they've got it recovered. The folks that investigated that said that the mother got out of the van, set a purse on the park bench, got back in the van and left.
Wow.
And forgot it. But there was actually a weapon inside the purse. So if somebody hadn't have said something, right,
the wrong people could have
wrong
picked it
person
up.
could have gotten that. So there's a
Good.
good example
Kudos.
of how that system works.
That's
I
excellent.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes. That is great.
Really cool stuff. And I'm glad you guys are that proactive and part of the community too.
Oh,
and a lot of folks
absolutely.
just don't understand that.
No.
If you want to pay more attention, go to some of the school board meetings.
Yes.
And, the dissidents, the ne'er-do-wells, whatever you want to call them, those we have uninvited to be participating in our show this morning because we had some information that there was going to be some disruptions.
Right.
Situation resolved.
Right. But still some good news. We had our BASES awards this couple of weeks ago. BASES is the Businesses Assisting Schools in Education. That program has been around for about 30 years as well. Ron Singletary, once again, he's in my mind, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Pete Andrews. Pete Andrews was the community affairs officer at the time. They developed this, and it's around the theme of baseball. So if you go into a business in Jacksonville and you see it like a hung plate, it's a little symbol. It says BASES on it. That means that they're a sponsor of the school district. And I just want to say thank you to 143 businesses across Jacksonville County that support Onslow County schools to the tune of, and I wrote it down, 300 just this past year. $385,000 and 2,400 hours, volunteer hours.
Wow.
That those 143 business, and that is the kind of support that we get.
That's cool.
Across the county. So
I like that. I did not even know about it.
Yeah, we've been doing that for over 30 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And we also are very connected with United Way. Our school district is. We're the number one donor for United Way. And this is not taxpayer dollars going to this. This is people's money out of their pocket. But it's our employees. This past year donated over $138,000 to United Way.
Wow.
9 of those 42 sites, 9 of those had 100% participation, which means all of their employees gave something.
That's awesome.
So it is a big deal for us.
Well, I know you were like doing penny drives and also for Wreaths Across America.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
schools.
Yeah, we do Wreaths Across America. There's so many things out there that individual schools do all across the county. And so
bullying, a big topic.
Big topic.
Happens. Again, see something, say something. If you know about it from off campus, not on campus, if it's on Facebook or whatever else those other anti-social medias are, if you see something on there, report it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because if the principal does not know that it's happening in his or her school.
Right. Yeah. And those issues are very difficult. I'm going to be honest with you. They're hard to investigate and try to nail down what it is, because you got, usually it's 2 kids. And where we see this the most is in middle school. That's where you see the issues.
Years that I hated anyway.
Yeah. And, this kid says one thing, the other kid says something else, and you're trying to figure out who's doing what and where did it start. And so what our counselors are trying to do in those situations is to let's get these 2 kids together and let's try to build a bridge and fix the relationship.
We got to know about it
Which
first.
you got to know about first. That's right.
And when it gets to be a group of kids bullying one other, which
that's different.
Quite often is the case.
And that is,
and that is a real problematic situation.
It is. And we take those very seriously. And if we know about it, the kids, the investigation is done, and it is determined that these kids are not just bullying, but harassing, hazing. There's rules about that, and we take action on those kids.
Good.
There is punishment that is given when those things happen. But it's not just the punitive side to be concerned about. You take care of the punitive side, but then how do you fix the problem? And that's what takes so long. That's where the guidance counselors are having to spend
counselors
time.
have got to spend a lot of time with those kids,
working with
the
those
victims.
kids to fix the root of the problem. Right.
Dr. Collins, I know you've got work to do.
Yes, sir. Well,
I do appreciate this time this morning. Extremely informative.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Things that I wasn't aware of that I now am more aware of, and this is going to be a must see, must read. Thank you.
I think I'm just more proud of the fact that our schools are doing so well. You
Oh,
know,
that
you
too.
get the
Yeah.
stats up there to the state stats and
listen,
et cetera.
we're doing well. The needles are all pointing in the right direction. Now, we are not where we want to be. We've got
which is always a good thing to be.
It's all about continuous improvement, right?
That's why you're raising the bar.
If you're an A, you want to be an A plus. I mean, it's
Right.
just the way that it is. And so we want to continue moving in that direction. And we're trying to focus a little bit more now. If we can get some of this craziness behind us, we can focus more on what we're here to do. And we talk about the Parents' Bill of Rights that's recently come out, and some of our folks are talking about, well, that when I looked through that document, there was nothing really in there that the parents didn't already have. So some of our folks say, well, if we're going to have a Parents' Bill of Rights, when you have rights, what comes along with that? Responsibilities.
That's right.
Right. And so why aren't we seeing parent responsibility in this? And
I agree.
and
I mean, that's obvious.
And listen, 98% of the parents that we have are wonderful. They're doing the very best they can, and they're sending us the very best that they got. And we get that. But, we need some parents to step up in this as well.
Right.
If we're going to fix the problem of our community, it is a community problem, and it starts at home. So,
I agree.
In another county where I lived and worked, not that many years ago, but there was one school, and because I was very familiar with it because my daughter went there.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it's a shame that of the, I think it was 1,500 kids in the high school, it's a shame that 50 people require 90% of the attention.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
That is for the other people in that school.
Right.
Those 50 people out of 1,500 are getting too much attention.
Right.
And therefore, the rest of them are being
Suffering.
deprived.
You're absolutely right.
You have to spend
My
so
solution,
much
of course,
time.
was to remove them.
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm just a
Right.
radical individual.
Right.
Just remove them. Find
Right.
someplace else for them.
Right.
Go away.
Yeah, but that's we can't do that.
I know you can't do that.
Well, we were
It's unfortunate.
talking earlier off air, and you mentioned something. You have a birthday coming up very
Happy
soon,
birthday
so
to you.
we just
Thank
want to be
you.
first to say happy birthday.
Well, thank you so
Happy
much.
early
I
birthday.
appreciate that. I really do. That means a lot to me, and it's all good. We're going to continue to do good things here in Onslow County, and it's people like you, these businesses, are the 98% of the parents that are out there that are supporting us and doing the right things. It's what keeps me going.
So for you 98% of the parents out there who are doing the right thing, please let the superintendent, let the school system, let your principals know that you support them.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
very
Reach out to
important.
them.
That's
Forget
very
about the
important.
dissidents, the losers, as I've been told. One of our
For just on a roll
one of
with
our
that.
individual friends of ours referred to them as the dirty dozen,
Mm-hmm.
and she's listening now.
Yes.
But anyway, she's laughing now too because I can hear her all the way from here to here. But let your teachers, let your kids' teachers be involved.
Mhm.
Be there for them.
Yeah.
Go to the school board meetings.
Right. Right.
Watch them. Reach out to the superintendent, to the office.
Mhm.
Everybody. Tell
You
them
know,
what
just
you think.
a big thank you goes a long way.
Absolutely.
It goes so
It
far.
does. And
So
just one other shout out to Ken Reddick is doing an outstanding job. as
Ken's
our,
a great guy.
chairperson, and Bradley Williams.
Yes.
Wow, what he
Yes.
is
He's super,
done-
isn't he?
Dynamo.
he's very quiet. He listens and he understands. And his kids are in our school system.
Yeah.
Melissa Oakley's kids are
Yes.
in our school system. Bill Lanier's doing a great job. Albert Garvey.
Mhm.
I mean, he's a long time guy. He's kind of like us. Grew
Yes.
up here. He went through the school system. Was a teacher and a principal as well.
I have to say
So-
one thing about Albert. I didn't think, boy, when he just came out that day, I
blossomed.
was like, "Whoa, you go, Albert!"
So they're doing a really
Yeah.
good job, and they've been very supportive
Yes.
of me,
Yes.
and I appreciate that.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Well, from
I
us,
agree.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for what you're doing.
appreciate it.
As a graduate, the schools here in
Yeah.
Onslow County, I think y'all are doing a fantastic job, and thank you.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'm always here. And if you need something, if there's some way I can help as a member of the community, I'm right there for you.
Well, we appreciate you
Yeah.
coming out at the last board meeting
Yeah.
and speaking. I know that was
Something just-
tough.
Well, no,
It's
not
hard
really.
to do.
I just
you know?
got mad.
Yeah.
I just got
tough for her.
mad. I said, I'm just tired of all this negativity. Somebody needs to stand up and say, thank
Yeah.
you for what you do.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
I
my
appreciate you
pleasure,
guys.
sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Collins, thank you, sir.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Now go to
Have a
work.
good rest of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, you too.
You hear me all the time, don't
That's
you?
right.
Yes.
You're live at local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME with Jacksonville Cardinal High School football.
Be sure to tune to WSME Freedom 97.1 FM and worldwide at WSME971.com tonight. Homecoming as the Cardinals host the Falcons of South Central High School from Winterville. Pre-game 6:30, kickoff 7 p.m., followed by the Golden Corral post-game report. Jacksonville High School football is made possible by the following 5 sponsors: National Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram, Golden Corral, Modern Exterminating, Jacksonville Heating Contractors, CNS Paint, Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, JOEMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Bob Mills Mitsubishi, Coastal Bank and Trust, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, Bradley's Jewelers, and Lane Family Dentistry.
had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call David Hall, State Farm, 910-455-0440, 1218 Country Club Road, Jacksonville.
If your check engine light is on and you plan to travel to visit friends and family this holiday season, it may be time to call or visit Battlefield Automotive, 1214 West Corbin Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Cold weather is tough on cars and trucks, and the pros at Battlefield Automotive can check your starter, battery, and charging system to keep you on the road and warm with complete heater repair. From tune-ups to transmission service, a hose, a battery, or whatever you need for holiday travel, let the ASE technicians at Battlefield Automotive help you. All work is guaranteed, and the staff at Battlefield Automotive takes this time to say thank you for the opportunity to serve all your auto and truck repair needs and wishes you the best this holiday season and the upcoming new year. Battlefield Automotive, 1214 West Corbett Avenue, Swansboro. Phone 910-325-0828 for Battlefield Automotive. Hurricane season is here, and if you're not prepared, now's the time to visit Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Whether for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer, Williams Hardware has the tools and accessories to protect against high winds and water. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies. Williams Hardware, your helpful handy hardware store, also cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington Grill for Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Williams Hardware is open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158, and be prepared this hurricane season. Since 1997, locally owned and operated Jersey Mike's 301E Western Boulevard right here in Jacksonville has provided only the best hot and cold subs and healthy salads to our community and our military neighbors, and thanks all our customers for making Jersey Mike's a sub above. Jersey Mike's features hot and cold subs, different sizes, served Mike's way or your way, in addition to delicious, healthy salads. To place your order or for takeout, phone 910-353-8091. Once again, Sam Duran and the staff of Jersey Mike's, 301E Western Boulevard, Jacksonville, thanks you for making them a sub above.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
What a great time with Dr. Collins. That was just one of the
was
more
a pleasure.
fabulous interviews.
That was a pleasure.
A pleasure all the way through.
Yes. And it's great to hear
Yeah,
about
it is.
how good our schools are doing.
You know, sometimes it involves so many kids, 28,000 kids. Think about that. Look at the parents involved in
Look
that.
how many employees he
Wow.
has.
Yeah.
Wow,
So it's
that's
a
a big job.
It's a big industry, a big job, and a lot of responsibility. So we'll be having him on a regular basis,
Yes,
as
yeah.
needed and as he desires too.
Right.
Choppy waters may make fishing a little complicated for a couple of days, but we all know that the fall fishing season is just beginning. Talk about a great week or so. Reports of nice king and Spanish mackerel close to shore. A bunch of kings have been caught on fishing piers.
Yes.
At 6 from the Bogue Inlet Pier.
Yeah,
Bogue,
saw the picture.
whatever it is. Bogue Inlet Pier. Spanish up the New River, knocking on
Yes.
Jacksonville's back door, all the way up the river. They've been catching some big Spanish. During the downtime, though, you might want to stop in at Tideline Marine. Stock up on the lures you know you're going to need. Register for the weekly prizes that Tideline offers. Check out the cool Bull Bay rods. Pick one up, and you guess what? If you pick it up, I had one yesterday in my hands, and I was like, oh, this is a problem. I've also got one right back here.
Yes.
Maybe I should just show that sucker.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little long for me. I need one a little shorter. Because I'd be hitting everybody with
This is a very light but heavy duty
Yep.
rod.
Wow.
Very light.
Yeah, it is light.
And it's going to be teamed up with an Osprey reel. very shortly, of which I have here for a certain reason. But anyway,
right.
we'll talk about that later.
That is very
It's available at Tideline. If you pick up one of these rods, you're going to want to keep it and take it home with you. So if you don't want to have another rod in your inventory, you probably better not go to Tideline. How does that sound? Ask Tyler George when you're down there about the cool boats they have in stock right now at today's prices. At today's prices, as we know, prices are going to increase next year. It's one of the realities the marine industry deals with. Maybe all you need is a new motor. Tideline is repowering one boat right now with a pair of 350 horsepower Mercuries, another with a 70 Merc. American made, American power. Tideline Marine on the banks of the New River at 159 Old Bridge Street in downtown Jacksonville. Small craft advisory is in effect from this afternoon through late Saturday night. Today, offshore winds out of the west at about 10 knots, increasing to 15 to 20, gusts to 25 this afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet offshore, dominant period 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop this morning, increasing to kind of choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon. That's good. Gust up to 30, though. Seas 4 to 6 feet, except 3 to 5 near shore. Dominant period 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. Sunday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15. Seas 3 to 4. Adjacent sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
And today we have areas of dense fog that will be here up till about 10 a.m.
We got some of that right outside right now. I can see it.
It was very foggy coming in this morning. I couldn't see 5 feet in front of me. A slight chance of rain before 3 p.m. Then 60% chance of showers after 5. Partly sunny with a high near 74. Winds 5 to 10 in the afternoon with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms likely before 11 p.m. Mostly cloudy and then becoming mostly clear with a low around 53. Winds 7 to 10 with gusts as high as 15. Saturday, sunny with 71. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 71. So we just get through tonight. We'll be good for the weekend.
Yep, it should be okay.
Yes.
There were reports published last night that Jim Jordan was going to withdraw his name from the House Speaker's race, shall we call it. But because they had 2 votes, 3 votes now, 2 votes.
They've had 2 votes.
2
They're going to
votes.
have a third today. He's supposed to be doing a presser. Well, he did a presser at 8 o'clock this morning. And I
he
did
said, he said they
watch-
got a lot of work to do.
Yes, I watched an interview last night, and he said, "No, I'm not backing down."
So I don't know who some of the naysayers are that
Yeah.
were saying that he was going to bow out, but no,
Well,
he's not.
where there was
He's-
naysayers also saying that Patrick McHenry was up to them giving him more power, and he said, "Absolutely not. I don't want this job."
There you go.
Can you blame him? Can you?
No,
blame
not
him?
at all. Let's go over there to Israel.
Yes.
Hezbollah. Apparently, they've been trying to come across the northern border of Israel,
Not
and that's a bad sign. Bad
Yes.
sign from Lebanon, and the Israeli Defense Force, the IDF, they killed a number of them, of the terrorists.
Yes, they did. Yes, I heard that this morning.
Residents along that border are being evacuated. So, it's going to be a 2-front war. I can tell you that right now. And believe it or not, Hezbollah gets more funding from Iran than Iran gives Hamas.
Well,
So that's a bad thing. They get
Yes.
they get weapons. They get all sorts of monies to buy other. It's not a good sign. So Israel is going to be smack dab between the middle of 2 warring groups of people.
Well, I was listening to one of their commanding officers for Israel talking this morning. He said, "You can bank this is going to be a long war."
Yeah, it's going to be a long war. It's not going to be
Yes.
one of those 6-day things, obviously, because it's already gone beyond that.
Well, that's just like when Ukraine started. Didn't we say, "Oh no, this is not going to
Yeah,
end
they're just
fast"?
going to walk through.
Mm.
But Ukraine put up a big front and said, "Nope, you ain't coming through. You ain't going to win. We're going to fight you." And Ukraine was like so many other places. Citizens did not have guns. Civilians did not have guns.
Right.
Very restrictive gun controls. Well, the president, he said, "Nah, open up our armories. We're going to give everybody a gun." And guess what has happened? Russia has been held at bay, not by the armed military, because the military would have been walked over very quickly by Russia, but by the civilians who have been armed. Hint, hint, idiots.
Yes. Anyway, so what have we got to look forward to this weekend? Well, I'm sure there'll be breaking news all weekend long about the impending war.
Yes.
They were saying last night on one of the news channels, of course, I'm not going to put word into it until I see it, until I know it for a fact, but they said that this ground attack is imminent. They
It's going to
said
happen shortly.
it could have happened last night,
But it did not.
but it
Not
did
yet.
not. But I think they still have more people they need to get out. And I think that's the
They do.
biggest wait for it. And my concern is the hostages.
Well, you know what?
Do they have them in the tunnels?
First of all, I would demand proof of life
Right,
before I'd do any bargaining with them.
right.
Before the president should not give even the civilian citizens humanitarian aid without proof of life of these hostages.
I agree with
We
that.
do not do that. We should not do
That's
that.
bargain.
Last night he wants to give them money. He
Mhm.
said last night, I'm going to give humanitarian aid. And I said, he said it in Israel.
Look.
And he said, I'm going to give them some money. I'm going to give them a lot of money, of taxpayers' money. Why?
It's got to go through
Why?
Congress for approval first.
Why?
And we don't have a Congress right
No,
now.
that's right. We got problems.
No. So
In his address last night, there are a whole lot of people are laying, what? What are you talking about?
well, that was my first thought was
Oh.
what after it was all over with. I mean, there were some great points that he brought up, some that
Uh-huh.
I agree with. I had a very hard time following it.
Oh, I did too. He
And-
was just all over the
And
place.
basically, when it was all over, done and said, it was like, we need to support, which I agree, but we're going to give them money. And we're
Yeah.
going to give them this.
Yep, we
And
got a caller.
yes.
Vice Chairman of the Youngsville County Board of Commissioners, Robin Knapp. Good morning, Robin.
Well,
How are
good
you?
morning, Robin.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, look, I just wanted to say I thought it was great. I can't even remember the last time we got the superintendent for the schools on the radio. I think that was perfect. I listened to what he said, and I just want to give a shout out to him. I think he's doing a great job, along with the rest of their administrative staff. And it was good to hear him come up on the radio and talk about some positive things that are going on for the school system here. And I think that's just great. Like I said, I can't even remember the last time a superintendent.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a long
Been
time.
too long for
Cool to
it's-
come on the radio.
And it's my fault. I did not call and ask him. I can call and ask him, and I should have done it. So,
Well, I mean, I think it's great. I think Barry's doing a great job. Anytime I have a question about certain things, I can pick up the phone and call him. He'll call me back, and the professionalism across the line is outstanding. And I just wanted to give him a shout out, and I was very appreciative of listening to him speak this morning on good things with the school system and what they're doing.
mhm.
And the next thing, real quick, I don't know if you watched the Biden speech last night.
Yes, we did.
I will tell you something. I was never so unmotivated by his speech by a president of the United States
That was
because
a little lacking.
he is so afraid to point the finger at the right people that are responsible for everything that's going on. in
Yeah, I
Israel.
know.
And I'm talking about Iran.
Yep.
And I could just picture Ronald Reagan up there and what he would say, and there would be a very bold warning from Ronald Reagan, and even Donald Trump. Donald Trump would have been right there in
Yep.
your face and putting it out there to Iran that if any American hostage was hurt or killed, that there'll be payback.
Yep.
And,
It's going to be
that's just my
serious.
opinion. I just wish he would have been more stern about that. And one thing I did notice about the speech that bothered me, and I can understand where he's coming from, but he made a comment during his speech that Israel has to be careful. They need not to act out of rage, which I agree with. But the way he said it, it was like a criminal warning to Israel to kind of stand down. And me personally, I don't think that's right. Netanyahu is going to do what he feels is necessary for his country of Israel. And I applaud Netanyahu for everything he's done and for his strong leadership. I think Joe Biden can take a lesson from Netanyahu.
Yeah, well, he needs to take a lot of lessons from Netanyahu. I can tell you that. Hey, Robin, thank
In
you, sir.
between that.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you for standing up for the schools.
Thank you, sir. Bill, good morning. How are you?
Another great day. That was really, I guess, a perfect morning to start off with the superintendent of schools. He had a lot of good things that he was pointing out, you know.
Well, we learned a lot.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said we learned a lot.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I was really impressed with that program they have for the an associate's degree. At the same time, you're getting your high school diploma. That really hit me as a very good advancement in education, and in a lot of cases, really putting it back to where it probably was at one point in our, in our history of education, etc. But that really was significant. One other thing I was thinking of, and I don't know if I brought it up before, but for, say, the students that aren't in that program, where teachers feel they're very strong in a subject or two, that they recommend them taking the achievement test coming out of right out of that subject. Let's say here, I got some real strong A students that I know, could probably get that through that achievement test and get college credit for it. Coming right out of, take their final exam, and then while still fresh in their head, take the achievement test to get credit for it too.
Sure. That
may not be in the other programs, but it was just something I'd figure I'd bring up and see if that could, was an idea they could put into.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was a very great presentation.
I appreciate it, sir.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Got to take a break here. Thank you. You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
We've unlocked the vaults, and we're replaying Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s. This week is from October 26, 1974. That's when Gordon Lightfoot cruised down the carefree highway. Mac Davis wanted to stop and smell the roses. Carl Carlton found an everlasting love. And John Denver longed to be back home again. You'll hear those songs and all the top 40 hits from October 26, 1974, right here on Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s.
Check out Casey Saturday mornings 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
The holiday travel season is almost here, and if you need automotive service before hitting the highways or just regular maintenance, Cedar Point Tire, the best automotive shop in Cedar Point, is here for you. Cedar Point Tire is more than just a tire store. They offer fast auto service from tune-ups to flat tire repair and all alignment and suspension services too. Cedar Point Tire. They carry all the major name brand tires, so they likely have your preference. It's simple. For all automotive service and tires, call 252-393-3188 or visit Cedar Point Tire, the best automotive shop in Cedar Point, 1083 Cedar Point Boulevard. Cedar Point Tire thanks you for your past patronage and wishes you and yours the best holiday season and a happy new year. Come ride with us this holiday season.
The Women's Fellowship of the First Christian Church of Richlands is having a craft bazaar Saturday, October 28th from 9 till 2:30. Admission is free. There will be handmade items, concessions, and vendors in 2 buildings. First Christian Church Richlands, 124 Trot Road. For more information, contact Mary Ann Metz at 910-330-0398.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for fall, and you should be too. With Cub Cadet, zero turns, lawn tractors, and walk-behind lawnmowers from Cub Cadet are engineered with premium features, leaving you with a well-manicured lawn. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and unlock the possibilities of your yard with Cub Cadet. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service. Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and pay top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We do. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
It's summertime. No schedules, no stress, and no cooking. The Burrow Low Country Kitchen has got you covered. Order a Carolina-style seafood boil to go. Sausage, potatoes, corn, with your choice of shrimp, crawfish, lobster, clams, mussels, crab legs, or a mixture. Seafood boils also make great party pleasers. Grab a quick lunch of Philly cheesesteaks, Italian sausage, fish tacos, and more. Dine in or take out. Curbside or dockside pickup. The Burrow Low Country Kitchen. Corner of Front and Moore Streets in downtown Swansboro. BurrowLowCountryKitchen.com.
Okay, we're back here. We got about a minute or a little bit less than a minute here. And coming up right after the show, in about a minute or so after the Fox News break, we got Sports Talk and Jerry Allen, who's the voice of the Cardinals, right here on WSME every Friday night. He and Bob Warlick and, of course, Hollywood's going to be there. Yes. Hollywood Man will be at the game tonight and at next week's game. Tonight's game is the homecoming, as you just said. All the ladies,
be dressed so pretty.
Be dressed up so pretty. I wonder if any of the football players are going to be their dates, their escorts tonight. That happens a lot. And they come out in their uniforms, their football jerseys. So I've seen that in the past a lot. They don't have time to go change, of course.
No, that's all part
that's
of
just
it.
the way it is. You got to come out just as you are. So whatever. Okay, we will be back on Monday. You've already got somebody lined up for Monday. I forgot who it is already.
Juan Beltrain. He's running for City Council
here in Jacksonville.
And he's going to be with us Monday morning to, give us a little bio on himself and for those of you that live in the city of Jacksonville, why you should vote
might
for
want to listen. Don't worry about the storm that's out there called Tammy. Tammy is going to go away. It is a tropical storm right now with 60 mile per hour winds, I think, something like that. 65 miles per hour as of 8 o'clock. It will become a hurricane sometime tomorrow, overnight tonight or sometime tomorrow. Remain a hurricane, but it's going to be turning towards right now it's west-northwestward. It's going to be brushing, coming across parts of the Lesser Antilles, including the Virgin Islands. It'll miss Puerto Rico. They will get some high winds and some high surf for sure. And then it's going to be turning back towards the north and then the north, and then to the northeast. And it will pass eastward of Bermuda sometime next week.
In other words, not a threat to us in any
to the
way.
United States, and there's nothing else in the tropics at this point in time. We will see you Monday morning. Have a great weekend. See you at the game tonight. Hopefully, Jacksonville Cardinals at home for homecoming against South Central out of Winterville. Have a good time and a good rest of your week and your weekend, and be safe out there, please. Okay.
WSME.